Okay, students, we shall start now. Good evening to all of you. And once again, I welcome all of you to this session. And for those of you who have joined late, welcome to this session. So what we as a company, Constellation Training and Placement Services, we have been doing a lot of things for the past 9 years. And our model of training and teaching is mostly to go to colleges and teach. Hence, many of you may not be recognizing us because our online presence is not so old. But during this entire pandemic, we changed our model and then we have started to take our courses directly to you students. Let me give you a glimpse of the kind of companies or institutions where we have taught in the past. You see, there are some names like Jadavpur University in Kolkata, you have Alia University, KIIT, Bhubaneswar, Adamas University. These are all West Bengal based. On the second line, we have taught at IIT Kharagpur, IIT Palakkad, IIT Guwahati, and IIT Jodhpur. And our concentration has been with colleges in West Bengal under the University of Technology, that is what is called the Makout University. And you might be, those of you who are familiar of the West Bengal colleges, you might see some names like Institute of Engineering and Management, Academy of Technology, the JIS Group, the Techno Group, NSHM, Camellia Group. ICFI Business School, IBS, is a management college. You see right here is a name called Damodar Valley Corporation, where we have in the past worked with them for recruitment of fresh engineers and MBAs from 21 different campuses all over the country. And these are colleges which are outside of the eastern region. Of course, this is in Orissa, and this one is Sunbeam, which is in Benares. And we continue to work with many of these colleges every year. Currently, we are working with ICFI Business School and Adamas Universities doing online courses, both for aptitude test preparation as well as some of the courses of IT. If you look at the constellation, the map of services, then our focus is to help students in placement preparation. Constellation is not only a training institute, it is also a placement agency. So we have connects to various clients all over India. And in the past couple of years, we have even started concentrating on freshers placement. So we get requirements from these companies and then we pass it on to you students who are working with us. So in terms of helping a placement preparation, the kind of activities we do is we teach aptitude test preparations. So whether you call it quantitative aptitude, verbal skills, logical reasoning, data interpretation, you know all that. We completely cover that area. We do IT coding uh, as well as IT subjects. And we are helping students with their preparation for group discussions and grooming them for facing personal interviews. Apart from that, we have seen that a lot of students have issues in English communication, where we have English courses and students enroll with us to learn English. And it is mostly the communicative part of it. So this way, what I just mentioned is you get a complete gamut of all kinds of courses from Constellation under one roof, and we also assist you with your placements. So today, what we thought was that we shall bring together our course on coding. And you know very well that today, aptitude tests have increasingly started putting coding questions more and more. Last 5 years or 6 years back, it is used to be mostly the mathematics and verbal aptitude and less of coding. Or the coding part would be mostly concentrated in the interviews. But what happens is all these big players in the market, they have changed their policies. So they want to pick up students who are what is called job ready. So to become job ready, you not only need knowledge of the subjects, you also need to be conversant with coding. And what they have done is they have started to put a lot of more and more questions, coding kind of questions, in the aptitude exams, which has been a challenge. So let me share a few thoughts before I hand it over to Vivek. One is that starting at the right time. When should you start preparation for placement? And I feel that the preparation really starts very early. When you are studying C, uh, if you're involving yourself in coding and problem solving on C, that really starts off, because your course, the college course, is very, very theoretical in nature. Hands-on exercises, lab work is not too much, because the idea is to complete the syllabus. So what you people have to do is not only depend on your courses and classes, but you go out and find ways and means to study. And in such a situation, a lot of self-study happens. But what I see is you can do self-study, you can learn through videos, and many students do it very well. But our appeal is to those students who find that a professional help is required, a teacher is required, a tutor is required. And instead of videos, we concentrate on live classes. So there's always a teacher to help you. We have a portal for practice. After this, we shall give you the link to come into our portal and solve one question paper to self-assess yourself, right? And there you will see that there are question papers on various companies. So we keep on doing research, and we publish a TCS paper, a Capgemini paper, a CTS paper, depending on the kind of questions they are asking, right? So we give you a lot of practice of these kind of um, questions. And this is, of course, the first gate for getting a job. Getting ready to meet the cutoff marks. The marks are going up and up. Earlier, something like 50, 60%. Now it is 80%, 85%. It's very high nowadays. So as I said, we can help you with aptitude test preparation, IT courses, coding courses, English courses, GDN, interview preparation. What we also intend to do, we have created a Telegram group. Once you take the test and you feel interested, it's not mandatory that you will join our course. As I said, there's a lot of self-learning people do, or you might have already taken courses from other places. That's fine. But do join our Telegram group, where people like Vivek sir, people like Raj sir, our faculties will be there. And we will keep on discussing various questions and interview techniques on all kinds of subjects, and giving you inputs on the various things which are coming. We will share with you the courses we are conducting. So take help from that channel. So in here, I will invite, let me see. Yeah, I will talk about these things a little more, but let me hand it over to Vivek sir. And Vivek sir is a veteran. He completed his BTech in computer science from BIT Sindri, and he joined TCS. He spent some time with Tata Consultancy Services, and then he left the job. And for the last 8 years, he is teaching in various institutions, in colleges, and he is really very, very knowledgeable in actual problem solving in IT. So today what we shall do is we shall do one demo class on C, and we shall have similar classes on the other subjects. You are free to join or coming next Saturday, and then you can decide whether you would like to join our coding course. With that, I hand it over to you, sir, Vivek.
Thank you so much, sir, for the nice introduction. So, hello all. My name is Vivek Gaurav, and as Ranjan sir already told you that I have worked as a developer for TCS in .NET, and I was working for Bank of America project. Now, and during that time, I was in Hyderabad, and I got a chance to visit colleges like Geetham University. That is one of the famous college in the south. I got a chance to go through the recruitment process for the campus selection. And I was going through it. I realized that when I was in the college during my days, and now, few years back when I was there, the things have totally changed, and I understood the pain that the student is going through. right? Like what they were looking for, what the company was looking for, and what the students were prepared for, that was completely different. And there was a very drastic, there was a drastic drop in the number of the students that we selected over there. And that was the time that I decided that no, now I will go into the training and placement, and I made a shift in my career, right? So now when you look for the companies, when you appear for these kind of companies, they are not looking for people who have just completed their degree, right? And they will train them, and they will keep them in their company, because there is a they need to spend money and time on you people to train them and make you project ready. So what they look for is that whether you have that problem solving skills right from the beginning or not. And our idea, as Ranjan sir was telling about, that we are working, that Constellation Training and Placement is a very old company. And right from the beginning, the whole idea is to make you people so ready that, the company do not find any reason to reject you or not to select you for any particular reason. That's the whole idea. And with coding, we are trying to bring the same thing for you, because we understand that you might have done a course on C and C++ and Java and Python, but still when you come across the question paper of the companies, you feel like, okay, this kind of question I've never come across. Okay, so with this note, we will start. So let me present my screen to all of you. And I believe all of you can see my screen now. And one thing is that I would like it to make it a bit interactive, because if I only speak and you only listen, there is going to be very less chances that you will understand. So let's try to make it interactive. I'll keep on asking you questions from time to time, and I will appreciate if all of you can unmute yourself and answer the questions. That will really help us, so that I can know whether you know this thing or know that thing, and if you know whether your logic is right or logic is wrong. Okay, I know it is a demo session, but still I'll appreciate if any one of you or all of you can unmute yourself and answer the questions. All set to go? If I can get an affirmation from any one of you, just a trial and error. No?
Is the audio clear, video clear, students? Shall we start? Any one of you? Okay, Vivek sir, I'm sure they will start to talk as you go along. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so today's lesson that we are going to talk about in the demo is conditional statement, C conditional statement. So a few assumptions that I have taken is that you are aware of C language in a basic way, and in case you are not, then throughout this we will be knowing more about the conditional statement. Okay, so now we will go ahead. So now, when we talk about conditional statement, the first question that always comes in mind is that what it is and where do I need to use it. So basically, there comes a situation where uh, you need to understand, you need to take a decision based on certain circumstances. Like let's suppose that you are planning to go out tomorrow, okay, and then this is your plan to go out tomorrow is based on certain factors. Let's suppose that if it is very cold tomorrow, then you will wear a jacket. If it is not, then you might go out in a t-shirt as well, right? So now you're going out, what you're going to wear will be based on the temperature, what the temperature is. Similarly, there are certain situations that comes in the programming language, and in order to solve those kind of things, there are conditional statement given, and there are different kind of conditional statement which are given to us in the C language or any programming language for that matter, right? Like if I talk about here, so there are these are the following variants of if statement in C language, like if statement, then we have if else, then we have if else if ladder, and then there is nested if. Okay, so let's go slowly and gradually into all of them, and towards the end of that we'll try to solve some questions also, which are completely based on the companies. Now, if statement. So it's very simple. If you need to check some conditions and perform some operations depending upon the correctness of that condition, then what you need to do is that you need to use a if statement. As you can see, the expression is very simple. It is just like if, and then you write. Let's suppose that you have two numbers, A and B, and you need to check which number is greater. So how you're going to do is that you are just simply going to write if A greater than B, and then give the curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket, whatever you want to do, you will do. So if you want to print like A is greater, so you'll just printf A is greater, like that. So it is very simple. If, then in the bracket you write the expression. The expression can be anything. It can use multiple operators like comparison operator or logical operator, right? And then within the curly bracket, you have to write the codes to be executed. Okay, so it basically says you if the condition is true, then only what will happen. But if the condition is not true, then it is not specified. Like here, if you are writing A greater than B, then let's suppose A, the user entered as 12 and B entered as 5. So 12 is greater than 5, yes, then it will go inside. Then it will go inside. But if we reverse, if A is 5 and B is 12, then what is supposed to happen? We are not specifying over here. Okay, so only if the condition is true, in that case, what will happen? That is being specified in the if statement. Now, this is the simple flow chart. There is the condition where we just talked about. So A greater than B, if I talk about. So if it is if it is true, then it will execute the if code. If it is false, then it will come out. It will skip that part. It will skip this whole part and it will come towards the after if statement. Okay. Just to take an example, there is a program to check if a number is even or not. So it's very simple. If you talk about even numbers are those numbers which are divisible by 2, and divisible by 2, in order to make the computer understand that, you have to understand in that way. Like if you divide a number by 2 and if the remainder turns out to be 0, that is an even number, right? And you know that there is an operator called mod operator. It is called as mod operator, which gives you the remainder when a number is divided by other. Okay, so here what we are doing is that we are just writing if number is modulus 2 is equal to 0. It means when number is divided by 2, the remainder is equal to 0. That is an even number, right? So in that case, what you will do is that let's check the output. The user entered 4, and since 4 modulus 2 is equal to 0, right? It will come out to be 0. So the condition became 0 equal to 0 in this part. So you got this, the number is even, 4 is even. But if the user is entering 5, then nothing is happening, because in that case, it is directly coming to return part and nothing is being executed. There is no printf statement over there, right? Now, there comes a situation when even if the condition is false, then also you need to display something. So for that case, what we do is that we use else along with the if part. So what happens in the else part is that if the condition is true, then this part will get executed. But if the condition is false, then this part will get executed. Okay, not much logic over here, only a simple extension of the if statement. Let's see over here. So what happens is that here is the condition. You write the condition over there. If the condition is true, then this block of code will get executed. If the condition is false, then the else block of code will get executed. And after the execution of either this or this, the program flow will come over here for sure. Okay, now you need to understand one thing, that at any point of time, both the if and else code will not get executed simultaneously. Either the if block will get executed or the else block will get executed. Okay, and after that, it is bound to come in this part. Now, continuing with the same example of even number, what we are doing is that we are just adding an else part over here and we are just displaying printf %d is odd number, and then we are giving number. Now, even if you write 5, you are getting an output which you are not getting earlier. Just to show you that, now this was the example where after this there was completely blank, there was nothing over there, right? There was no output. But if you look at now, you are getting an output, and this is coming. Why? Because this part has been added to the code, and that is because of the else part. Because even if the condition is getting false now, there is something to be executed. So this is another example of the if and along with else. And this is very useful, because when you go ahead, when you start programming, there will be hardly any program where you will come across, which can be done without the use of if else. Every program is going to use this in one way or the other for sure. Now there is another example that we have taken, and this is a very simple example, that program to check whether a person is eligible to vote or not. Okay. Now we need to know that when a person is eligible to vote, and as per the Constitution of India, it is 18 years. The 18 years of age must be there. So what we are doing is that we are starting with #include stdio.h, which is the including of the header file. Then we are writing int main. Now you might be wondering why we are using int main. Some people might be using void main or something like that. So just to tell you that it does not make much of a difference between void and int. The only thing is that if you are writing an int main, there has to be a return statement which is missing over here. Okay, which is missing over here. So if it is void, then you do not have to return anything from the program. So basically int and void with the main statement, these are the return type of the function. It denotes what the function or what the value the function is going to return you. Okay, so now what we are doing is that we have declared a variable here, which is age variable, It is always good to name the variable so that anyone can understand. Then we are asking the user to enter the age. We are storing it in age variable. And then we are checking if the age is greater than or equal to 18, right? And it is a simple comparison operator. If we talk about comparison operator, it is greater than, then less than, right? Then less than equal to, and then we have greater than equal to, then we have equal to, and then we have not equal to, right? Not equal to in C will be like this. Okay, so this is how we are checking it. If the age is greater than 18, then we are directly printing, yes, you are eligible to vote. If it is not, if the person age is not greater than 18, then we are printing else, printf, sorry, you can't vote. Okay, so what will happen is that if the user enter 18, so which block will get executed? 18 is greater than or equal to 18, right? Since it is equal to, so this part will become, this will return as true, right? And since it is true, it will come over this line and it will give you printf, you are eligible to vote. Okay. If in the other scenario, when we are asking the user to enter your age, the user entered 13, 13 is greater than equal to 13. This is how the condition will check. It will turn out to be false, right? And since the condition is false, then this part of the block will get executed. So this was very simple to understand. There was not much heavy calculation in that, right? And these are the kind of program that you usually practice when you learn C, when you learn C through any resource, whether it is from a teacher or from YouTube or from any other medium. These are the kind of program that you will come across, right? Program to check whether it is even or not, program to calculate whether you can vote or not, prime number, and then series and all those things. Okay, now let's try to see what with the knowledge that we have gathered, are we good enough to solve some questions which are from the company level? Okay, so here is the first question. Now this is very simple question. What will be the output of the following program, right? If anyone can unmute yourself and try to answer it, I'll really appreciate it. I'll just wait for a couple of seconds, for 10 seconds, just to see if anyone would like to answer it. Anyone? Or you can write it, you can put it in your chat box also. If you do not want to unmute yourself, just give your option in the chat box, 1 2 3 4. I'll really appreciate that. Okay, false, 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 false. I got two answers. One is from SB and one from Sweta. Nice, very good. Right? It looks very straightforward, isn't it? That the value of x is 22. So now you are checking x is equal to 10. So 22 cannot be equal to 10, right? So of course it will go into the else part, right? Is this the logic that Sweta and SB and MK have used? Is this the correct logic? I believe so, because even if I would have been there in your position, I would have done the same thing, right? But now the important thing that you're missing over here is that, did you notice this line? Right? If you notice this line, it is x equal to 10. It is not x equal to 10. Okay, someone is saying error. Okay, Sweta is saying error now. SB is also saying error now. Okay, so just to correct you, this option also is wrong. Even if you are going with false, or you are going with error, or you are going with none, all the answers are wrong. The correct answer is true. Let me tell you how it is true. Now this was the tricky part over here. Okay, now x is equal to 10. This x equal to 10, the single equal to is called as assignment operator, right? We all know that this is assignment operator, right? It assigns the value, and this is the comparison operator. Here what it does is that it compares, right? It compares. Now when you are writing a program and there you are writing x is equal to 10, if it is with the if statement, what it does is that first it assigns a value of 10 to x, so it becomes if 10, right? And if 10 is always going to be true, the condition is true, so it will execute this part, the true part, and the correct answer will be true. Right now, hand on heart, I want to ask you an honest question. Now, if it was really a question from the past in one of the company. Okay. Now, if you would have answered this question, you would have been very confident that your name will be there in the selection list. But when the list came out, you will be surprised, in fact, devastated to find that your name is not there, and you are still wondering that I answered all the question, but why my name is not there? But this simple equal to destroyed all your dreams. Right? This one equal to instead of 2 destroyed all your dreams. Right? This is the difference that happens when you are not prepared for it. Because we have not practiced these kind of questions basically. right? And when these kind of questions come, with the first look at it, with the first glance, it looks like, yes, it is so easy, it is so simple, it is going to be false. You go ahead and think like, instead of 10 minutes, instead of 2 minutes, I have solved it in 1 minute itself. But you ended up doing an error. Now let us look at the output. So the output is true. X is equal to 10 is an assignment operator, and it is going to be true because if 10 will always be true. So first the value is being assigned and then you are getting an output. Okay, so that was indeed a tricky question. Now come to this question. Okay, and again, I will ask you to put your answer in the chat box. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the option that you're thinking? I'll wait for 15 seconds for all of you to answer here. It's okay, even if it is wrong, it's okay. Believe me, even if I would have been there in your position, I would have made a mistake. Okay, so Preetham Chaudhary has written 2, false. It is false. And expecting some more answers. It's a very simple question. In case you do not know val minus minus, it is a decrement operator. It is as good as val is equal to the val. It is as good as val is equal to val minus 1. Okay, val minus 1. Val minus minus means val is equal to val minus 1. Okay, so I have got two answers. One is saying, okay, false. MK is saying false. Okay, nice. Since you are not unmuting, so I'll not be able to understand the logic that you have answered false, right? But it is a correct answer, by the way. Now, what most of the people would have done is that since val minus minus, okay, if they know it is a decrement operator, so it basically means val is equal to val minus 1. Right? So now what they will do is that they will start with the value of val as 1. Now when they are coming over here, val minus minus, what they will do is that 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Right? So 0 is equal to 0. So they will go with true value. Around 80 to 90% of the people will go with the correct option as 1, that is true. But the correct answer here is going to be the B, that is false. The second one, that is the false. This is the correct answer. Now how it is there? Now just to tell you that there are two kind of operator. One is called as val minus minus and the other is called as minus minus val. And these are two different kind of operator. Okay, one is called as post operator, post decrement, and the other is called as pre decrement. The difference between these two is that when post decrement is there, first the line is getting executed, first the statement is getting executed, then the value is decreased. And in case of pre decrement, in case of this, first the value is decreased and then the statement is getting executed. Okay, so now here we understood that since it is post decrement over here, so first the statement will get executed and then the value will be decreased. So now when the statement is getting executed, what is the value of val? The value of val is still 1. So this condition became false. This is false, right? Now after it became false, it means it is going to go into this part. By that time, the value of val became 0. From 1, it got reduced to 0. Okay? Yes, it can be. It can be. If you want to try, you can try it. And that was actually a question from one of the company. We have taken it from there as well. This is the company. I believe this is from Capgemini, I believe, some year back. Okay, and this was the question which was there. So SB, if you are asking like it can take a integer value, yes, it can. Since it is a 1 bit, it can take. Okay, try it out at home if you want to try it out later. So this is where the people will do. People will go wrong. Okay, between post decrement and pre decrement. In case your basics are not clear, you are bound to do a mistake over here. And that's the reason our idea is to do enough practice with you, give you exposure of all kind of questions that can come across, so that you are completely aware of it. Okay. Now let us look at the third question. So this was the logic. Val minus minus is the post decrement, which I already discussed. Now coming to this question, what will be the output of the following program? Okay, again, and these are the options. Just look at the options. Hello, hello, okay, okay, and error. Okay, look at the question. I'll give you 15 seconds or 20 seconds to go through the question, and I'm expecting your answer in the chat box again. I believe you have seen the question. So now let me just give you the options 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got two answers. Okay, hello. Sweta is saying hello. SB is saying hello. Great, very good, Sweta. Very good, SB. Really appreciate you people are trying to interact. Really appreciate that. Any other? Sriza is saying also hello. Very good, Sriza. Any other answer can I expect from anyone else? Okay, chalo. Now let's go back to the question. Okay. Okay, so this was the question. What will be the output of the following program, right? Now here what you people saw is that it appeared to be one of the simplest question that can come across, right? If I'm not wrong. The value of A was 10, and here there was nothing like 1 equal to or other things. It was very simple. 10 is equal to 10. So it is going to get inside the loop for sure, right? That is for sure. Now it is printing hello. Okay, so you thought that okay, one hello will be there for sure. Then there is a break, so you might thought that okay, now it is going to break. So you went with the first option, right? If I'm not wrong, Sweta and SB and Srija, right? If I'm not wrong, this is how you went ahead, right? Great, really appreciate SB for confirming that. Now the point is that one thing which you missed over here is that you missed a break statement, right? This statement you missed, and even if you do not miss, you did the correct thing, but in a wrong place. Now, if you remember break statement is one such a statement which is a loop control statement. Do you find a loop over here? Is there a for loop or a while loop or any other kind of loop over here? No, right? There is no loop that can be seen over here, right? So does this exist? Is the existence of break statement over here is justified? And the answer to that is no. You have brought break out of nowhere, and that's the reason if you will see you are going to get an error, and the error is going to be misplaced break or illegal break, because the break statement can only be used with looping and switch statement and cannot be used in a if condition. Okay, now this simple question which looked very simple, just because of one line completed gave you a completely different answer, which is the fourth one, that is the fourth error, right? And you might have ended up with hello, or some people would have gone up with hello and okay, or in case they didn't know about break, they might have gone with this also, okay, that okay, it is not going to give the first one because there is a break, so it will end up with this, right? But actually what happened is that it was a misplaced break or illegal break, right? Now that is the reason our focus is to prepare you so that you do not miss these kind of simple things, right? Now let us look at the last question for the day. Okay, and the last question is that check for the syntax error or logical error and correct the error to get the desired output. Okay, and this, it goes like the following code snippet finds out the last digit of a number entered by the user. If the user entered a number 56, then the output will be 6. Okay, and it is saying that the code snippet accepts a single argument, that is num, representing the number by the user, and it compiles successfully. It is saying that there is no compilation error, but it is not giving you the desired result, right? For some test cases due to logical error. What your task is to find the code so that it passes all the test cases. And this is the question from IBM. Let me tell you that. Okay, now look at this, and you have to tell me where is the error, which line has the error. I'll mark the line number. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. Okay, it is saying that the compilation is doing successful, but when it comes to running, it is not giving you the correct output. Again, I'll wait for 15 to 20 seconds for you to tell me the output in the chat box. Just give me the line number where it has an error, and if you can tell me what is the error, that I'll really appreciate that as well. Srija, SB, and Sweta, I'm expecting answers from you and from others as well who have not participated so far. Okay, line number 5. MK is saying line number 5. So MK, if you can just write one word or two word, like what is the error in line number 5, so that I will also come to know about it. I hope all of you understood the question, that when the user is entering 56, so what they are expecting is that they want 6, right? They want the last digit of number. If they are entering 123, they are expecting 3 over there. Okay, so SB is saying 4. Num will not be there, I think. Okay, MK, I understood that. SB, Srija, and SB and Srija, I'll really appreciate if you can just explain in 1 or 2 words what is the error over here. I'll just wait for 1 more minute. It will show 5. Okay, if you're entering 56, it will show you 5. Right, but my expectation is 6. I want 6. So what I should correct over here? What should I correct over there? If you think that this is the line where there is error, what should I correct over there? Okay, Pritam Chaudhary is writing use percentage remainder operation. Num by 10 is logic is not correct. Trija is saying that I am really, really very happy with you people participating, and most of you and some of you are absolutely correct. The error is in this number, in this line, right? There are two kind of operator. One is called as division, which simple gives you the quotient, right? I hope you all know that simple gives you quotient. So if you write 57, 56 by 10, it will give you 5 because 10 5 is 5, 10 into 5 is 50, right? If you want 6, which is the remainder, you have to use a modulus operator. You have to use percentage operator, and this will give you 6. Okay, so this is the error here, right? Slash is used to give you the quotient when one number is divided by another. So when 56 by 10, in this case, the result will be 5. And there is modulus operator, it gives you the remainder. So just with this particular line, this is the correct code. With one particular line, you will get the correct output. Okay, so that was just a small change of slash to percentage, and the whole code was giving you, though there was no compilation error, but there was a huge logical error because you wanted the last digit, but instead you are getting the quotient, right? So that was indeed a tricky question, but not a difficult one. Okay, then we have another question, but I believe, for the sake of time, we will not take that into consideration. And I believe that you understood how tricky it can be at times, right? And with our purpose is to make you prepare it for different languages like C, C++, Java, and Python. And in the course, as Ranjan sir will mention again, we are going to cover more than 120 programs. We'll understand the logic of that, and we are going to cover more than 120 questions of similar kinds across variety of across different languages from different companies in the past. Okay, so Ranjan sir, I'll hand it over to you. I'll stop the screen share.
Okay, thank you, Vivek sir. I feel that the students have got an idea of what we are trying to do, and they have enjoyed. Thank you, everybody, for participating, answering, and that's the idea. What my takeaway from this short demo, Vivek sir, is that the idea is, again, it comes back that you are actually not sitting on your computer and coding. And so the way our tuning is, or our way of solving is, we look at a problem, we apply our logic and brains, and we try to get an answer. But in case if you are a developer and you have done these things, and because you put this program and then it will show that error, or you have to debug things like that, since you have not been able to do that and it's not expected that you do it, then you don't spot these errors so easily as a developer will be able to do. Now, in that sort of a situation, what happens is our course is what we will make you do hands-on. So when we are talking about, say, solving 120 problems, we shall actually make you do it on your computer, make you do it on your editor. So you actually do the problem, solve it, and understand it. Right, Vivek sir, you want to say a few words on this? We shall actually work and
Yes,
solve,
sir.
and then and all these questions are taken from questions that are coming in the test. You will not find a question which we are not picking up, because these questions are again available to you. The net is full of questions. So many companies are giving their inputs, and people are making their questions and providing that. And a question paper which is coming out today is available on the net the next day. So the best way is to pick up questions from there and solve it. And in a peer group, like it was happening just now when you're studying together, then in that kind of a situation that you get a problem which you are not able to solve and you bring it to the forum in the class and we will try to solve it. So the idea is that, yes, we are going to solve about 120 questions picked up from various exams which are happening. And we are also going to, now let me just share my screen here and switch on to the PPT, right? So there we have mentioned all the kind of exams that we track, and there are more. Our research team keeps on tracking questions from different exams. So, and as we mentioned in our communication, that we shall do C, C++, Java, Python. And if you look at the second last point, so 120 problems we talked about, and then we shall also practice 100 plus interview questions. And typically in the interview questions also, you're given a piece of paper and actually asked to write it down. So that also is a problem solving kind of session. We shall also do a lot of tests on our portal. So if an exam is coming, like you have a Wipro coming, then we shall look at papers and give you a lot of question papers to practice. And since it is on the portal, you immediately get the marks and you see how you have performed. There is two things I wanted to say. One is very clear. We shall do C, C++, Java, and Python. These are the subjects mainly in which you have questions. The bulk of the questions are on these. There are two courses. Why? 30 hours and 50 hours. 30 hours is the coding course. So in 30 hours, we shall solve 120 problems plus 100 plus interview questions and many more. So that's 30 hours. Now, and what is this 50 hours? Those 20 hours are basically concepts clearing. Now, if you look at the students who participated today, some of you were able to start solving it. So possibly your knowledge in C is to a level that you can directly go into problem solving. But some of you might have felt a little bit difficult in solving those problems. So what we need to do is we need to brush up your knowledge on C. So 20 hours we have taken 5, 5, 5, 5 on the 4 subjects to basically do a brush up. Now, how do we decide, or how do you decide that whether I need to take the 50 hours or 30 hours? We have given an assessment test on our portal. We will send you the link. Come to the portal, solve those problems, and see how you perform. Suppose the thumb rule is like that. Suppose you get 70% plus, then blindly go for this 30-hour course, because more or less you are able to solve the problems. More or less your concepts are clear, because it is conceptual. Concepts are clear. Go for this 30 hours course. If you are getting, say, less than 70, then you think, now it's not that we are telling you or we are forcing you. You think that whether you would like to directly go for the 30-hour course, or you would like to spend 20 hours with us in brushing up. And we'll do that brush up of these 4 areas, 4 subjects, the main areas from where the questions are asked, be able to provide you inputs on the tricky part, those which you need to consider, and then they will move into the 30 hours of problem solving. Right. So that is what we decided to do, the way we divided the course. And today, as I mentioned, I am Ranjan Kumar Majumdar, and I am basically the head of Constellation Training and Placement Services. You can go on our website and see the details about us. And you have met Vivek sir. So he is the faculty who is going to take you through these courses. And I've given you our website and also given you my email. So you can write it down. And if you have any questions, feel free to just mail me. I shall answer. Okay. Now, Vivek sir, anything else you want to add here?
Nothing specific, sir. You already mentioned about the difference between 30 hours and 50 hours. So basically those 20 hours that is there extra, it is just to brush up your skills. We have taken out all the important topics. In fact, all the topics of, four the languages, C, C++, Java and Python. And we'll try to give you the basic of all of them in the first 20 hours so that your basics are clear. And then we will take you through the next 30 hours of all the problem solving and the competitive questions and all the questions which are there in the interviews. So this is how it has been divided.
Okay, thank you. So this is about the course. It's a completely online course and 25 classes, 2 hours per day, 50 hours. We shall take approximately 3 months. So if we are starting this in the first week of February, so February, March, April, by that time we shall be able to complete. Uh, if you are doing only the 30 hours, that also starts off at the same time, and we shall be doing 15 classes to cover 30 hours. We should be able to wrap it up by the end of March, right? Uh, the classes will be 2 days a week or 3 days a week. We shall share the schedule with you. Those of you who are interested, we will talk to you and understand your preference of timings and the days, and we shall work. 3rd February we start. As I mentioned, next step we will share the link for the free online coding test. Not only that, what happens is that once you do this course with us and you are on our channels, on our Telegram channel, and you're discussing, the portal is open to you throughout the year. So that what happens is you keep on getting these question papers. All the doubt clearings happens on our channel, on our group, and you are also free to interact with Vivek sir. What important things will happen is sometimes we will arrange these kind of demo sessions. Some like a say a company is coming and we know that there are a lot of students who would be interested. We shall be happy to arrange for some of these free demo classes specific to those companies. Some of course will be paid. Um, and not the least, we have your names, we have your details, and we shall float it across to our clients across India to consider you for placements. Now, I shall basically stop here. The only other thing I have to tell you is the fees. But before that, if you have any questions, can you please feel free to ask? Any observations, any thoughts? Okay. Uh, you can also put it on the chat. Any questions if you would like to put it in the chat box. So this is the price, which is including everything. It is 6,000 for the 30 hours course, and it is 10,000 for the 50 hours course. Um, so I'll stop the sharing at this point of time so that I can see all of you. And from here, we shall of course keep on talking. Did you find it useful, students? Did you find the small session useful?
Again, make use of the chat box. Srija, MK, SB, and
Or
Sweta.
SB, I think wants to speak. We would like to hear his voice. SB, why don't you give your thoughts? Did you find it useful? Anything better we could do? You are aware more about trends of what is happening in the market. Anything different you would like to see? We can incorporate it.
Okay, so we have two things in the chat, sir. I'll just read it out. SB is saying yes, he enjoyed it, and then Sweta has written yes, I enjoyed it, and then SB has written yes, sir. I'm looking forward to give the online test. Really
Fantastic.
appreciate Sweta and SB for your kind responses.
Thank you so much. And of course, uh, Vivek sir, we are going to do 2 more demos.
Yes, sir. We have, in fact, we have, yeah, we have two more demos. One is for
For
C++ and the other we have for Python.
Python.
Right. In the
We have one for Java as well.
we haven't scheduled that, but if required, if the students demand for that, we'll make another demo for Java as well.
But welcome to these 2 more demos same time. we shall be doing it Monday 6:30 to 7:30. Next 2 weekends, next 2 weekdays on Mondays, we shall do it. Please join us. It was interesting to have you all together on this demo and sharing and interacting with you. Yes, the next step for us, we will share the link and we look forward to your solving of the question paper so that we know uh, how you have done and you can self-assess yourself. If any more last questions, I'll just give you 10 seconds to 15 seconds before we say goodbye. SB, you want to say something? Okay, students. So once again, thanking you for attending, and I wish you all the best for your studies, for your careers. Do well, and we look forward to more interactions with you. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
so just to sorry to interrupt you. SB has asked a question. So will the next demo links be emailed? Yes, SB, it will be emailed to you. But just to give you the timing in advance, it is going to be next Monday 6:30 as it was today. Okay, so next Monday 6:30 is going to be C++, and after that it is going to be Python. And we are planning to have a session on 26th of January as well. Therefore, that the email will be sent out to you well in advance. And the second thing is that you already saw that the questions were not that tricky, but just adding one small element or missing one element might have ended you in the list which you do not wanted your name to be. So for that reason, it is there. So all the best. Give your online test and assess yourself how much you are getting it, and based on that, take a call. But whatever happens, make sure that you are there in the next demo so that you get some values from our side. Thank you
And
for being here.
and you have our phone numbers. Uh, Feel free to call any of the numbers. Somebody will pick up from Constellation, and you can ask the question about links, about demos, about timings. Please feel free. Thank you so much. Bye bye, and all the best.